All right, and let's look at what we call the maximums and minimums. The maximum and the minimums are simply meaning what's the maximum tax in bracket 1 and what's the minimum tax in bracket number 1. So this is bracket number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, these brackets, when you look at them critically, the side of rates of tax, they have these numbers. They have these numbers that start the equation. You might be asked to prove or to show how these numbers were determined. You might be asked to show how these numbers were determined. All right. These numbers, what I want you to know, this number, for example, show how 59,314 was determined, or was how it was got. So this number here, it's in bracket number 3. But it's not, it comes from the previous bracket, which is bracket number 2. It's in bracket 3, but it comes from bracket 2. All right. I'm going to show you how we do this. So what we're going to do, is that we go to bracket number 2, and you write down the bracket, the equation for bracket number 2. Write down the equation for bracket number 2. So here the equation for bracket number 2 is this much. This is what we are looking at. So we shall write 32,742 plus the 26%. We shall write it like this. Open brackets. Now, remember it asks you of the taxable income above 181,900. So what we're going to do is take the maximum value, this one here, and put it here. Minus this value here. Let's put it in the calculator. Let's put it in a calculator and we see what we get. 32,742 plus 0.26 times 102,200. This is the value that you got. Indeed, we are proving this. So it's here. That's how we prove it. All right, we're going to take another example. Let's take another example. We want to show how the value of of 149,619 was determined. was determined. How do you get it? So when you look at it critically, it's in bracket number 5. It's in bracket number 5, simply meaning it's from bracket number 4. So if it's from bracket number 4, so we concentrate on bracket number 4. We shall come here, we shall use this bracket. We shall say 93,135 plus 36% into brackets. You take the maximum number, this one here, 550,100 minus 393,200. So you simplify, you take the number there, you show us what you get from the brackets. When you subtract, what you end up getting, that's what we want. We end up having 156,900. So put everything in a calculator and you see what happens. Yeah, you get the answer as that's how we do it. Now, another thing that you have to know, this is the maximum from the previous bracket, like the maximum tax to be paid in the previous bracket, whereas it's the minimum in the current. So what about this one here? This was a minimum. It's a minimum in bracket 5, and the maximum tax to be paid in bracket number 4. Maximum paid. Maximum in bracket number 4, minimum bracket number 5.